participants of the podcast are either medical marijuana patients or in a state where it is recreationally legal. Two Fried Eggs podcast does not condone any illegal marijuana or drug use or sales.
Yo, guys, welcome back to Two Fried Eggs podcast. We have a very special episode today. Got my boy Dolph here as always, and our very special guest and friend, like true real friend of mine, Hillbilly Willie, the one and only. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, man. It's good to be here. Thank you.
God damn, man! I tell you, I was really hoping you'd show up with no eyebrows and fucking pink hair, dog.
Okay, bro, relax.
I don't know that reference, but that would have been fun.
Okay,
that's right. Hey, man,
I'll be without hair soon enough. It's already going away.
Dude, you put in work there. That deal, man. You made a whole lot of money to help out what was the charity again?
Yeah, can you let us know what the hell you're talking about? Because I have no idea.
Sorry.
Idea.
Yeah. Fill him in on this whole thing about the
Jeez.
shaved eyebrows and everything. My bad.
Every year, they do this throughout the year, but the charity that. So let me look up the actual name for the day. There's a specific name for the day. Hold on one second. Caught me off guard. I wasn't ready to talk about charity. I was ready to talk about cheating, not charity. But give me just a second.
Well, you never know where we'll go with this.
You
Trust
never
me.
know.
Yeah,
You never know.
True. Anyway, it's the you guys have probably heard of it. I can't think of the name off the top of my head because I'm old and forgetful. But it's a charity for kids basically, and they're like really big on Twitch. They do not just Twitch, but they do a lot of things on Twitch. And every year, Ark, the game that I play the most, Ark Survival Evolved, which is a bunch of adults playing a dinosaur game.
Fuck yeah. I like it.
Basically, they do one big day, like a big fundraising day, and there's people all over the world who do it, and then Ark does their part as well. And so we joined up this time with Ark, and we did our own thing. And so, just like any charity thing, one of the ways you do it is you set goals, and then if we hit the goals, we do different stuff. So one of the things was my wife shaved my eyebrows.
Fuck
and
yeah,
I don't really
amazing.
have thick eyebrows, so you couldn't really even tell. It wasn't that big of a deal.
You could tell.
Then,
It was.
About to say, like, if it was mine, it'd be different.
You can definitely fucking tell.
Okay, fuck off. You just live in the delusion. And one of them was dyeing my hair, and we did like the Hot Wings challenge.
Oh I forgot about that part. You did the freaking Hot Ones. Yeah.
Hot Ones.
Fuck
awesome.
that, dude.
We raised overall the whole team raised a ton of money. So for the whole day, the entirety of the day, it was many millions of dollars raised. And then our part of it, my part of it specifically was, I can't remember the exact number, but somewhere around 10K, like a little over 10K.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, so it's just a cool thing. So that's why I had no eyebrows and weird hair.
What did you just stay in the house till all that grew back? Or did you go out and get some weird looks, bro?
I mean, in fairness, I don't go that many places anyway. So, and I just wore a hat, like that. We're not
there you go.
Don't ask questions.
I could just imagine you walking into the gas station to get you a soda and just catching some weird looks or something,
Well, if I was in
That
California,
depends on where you live, honestly.
If I was still in Cali, I wouldn't have gotten a single look. It'd have been normal. But when I moved back to Carolina, I probably would have gotten some looks if I'd have been wandering around with. Because she did like 2 or 3 colors, like purple, blue, and pink.
Yeah.
I don't even remember now, but yeah, it was.
I love it.
That was pretty amazing.
It was a little different.
Before we get into the whole, cheating thing and all that, there's something I want to say personally. Dolph, I don't know if you know this or not, and I'm going to try not to get emotional here. For one, I appreciate you coming on the show. For two, I can't thank you and your wife enough for when I was sick and whatnot. You guys really helped me out and helped me through it, and financially and just support, and things like that, man. So I owe you big time, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come over here and hang out with us, dude. And I got nothing but love and respect for you, brother.
This is nothing. Hanging out with you guys is nothing. That was easy. That was the easiest choice ever. You asked, I said yes instantly. The other part was also easy, and you don't owe me shit. That's the whole point.
Well, I know, man.
I'll let people I don't like pay me back for shit. The people I do like, you don't owe me anything.
Well, I hope you know from the bottom of my heart, man, I think highly of you, and I appreciate you very, very much.
So what's crazy is that was the time frame that I started hanging out with Bosch. He was streaming a whole lot more in GTA, and I wanted to hang. And I was in the city, so I started watching his stream, or whatever. So, and I remember him like tearing up like a bitch a couple times, like talking about you in the chat. But I understand, like I get it. I'm a man, like to be able to let yourself be vulnerable like that for thanking someone, especially in an open forum, that's pretty fucking dope. And that's kind of why I knew that Bosch was the kind of guy I wanted to hang out with, because for him to open up like that and talk about you and talk about the other people that were helping him, that's fucking amazing. So it's awesome, dude. Appreciate it.
Well, yeah.
So anyway,
that's one of those things where like as men, we're like, it's really hard. I think it's hard for a lot of times for us to have that like emotion. It's really weird. My wife gets really mad because I like cry at music, or I'll like, not all the time, but like occasionally I'll be like in a mood and some song will just like hit just right. But if I'm, but I'll never cry about like, some typical relationship thing. Like that stuff to me is, I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same. It's weird. I don't.
The last song that brought me to fucking tears.
What's
and
that?
This was, I may have been drinking, but Jelly Roll's "Son of a Sinner," man. Because I kind of, I grew up, and I mean, I've talked about it a lot on this podcast and stuff. I grew up and I was a bad person for a long time, and I may still not be the best person. I try to do my best, but I may not still. But that song hits me sometimes, man. If I'm in a mood and I can't listen to it unless I'm in the right state of mind, or I'll fucking be bawling like a baby.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
I think for me, it's not. Again, we're way off topic, but I'm cool with it.
That's all
I'll
right.
go forever, dude. I can talk.
We go about whatever, man.
So I think for me, one of the things, especially about music, because I did music, but so before I ever did anything online, I was in a band. We had record deals. We traveled a lot, and like one of the things that I always enjoy is a lot of people don't like, like the music shows like The Voice or whatever, because it's not all of it's 100% real. There's a lot of
what?
sort of behind. Yeah.
No.
Spoiler,
bro.
Thanks
what
a
the
lot,
fuck, man? Thanks a lot. I'm out of here.
The moment I really like, though, is when you see the unexpected thing happens. Like the person who maybe nobody ever told them they could sing, or maybe it's just their parents, and for whatever reason they end up on that stage, and then they just like open their mouth and some crazy shit comes out, and you're just like,
bro.
It's just that moment of like, holy crap, you've had this the whole time, and you've been serving people, doing something else. Like, I don't know. That's the shit that gets to me. I love that moment where people realize, like, man, your gift is music, and you got to go do that. Like somehow, whatever it is, you got to go do that. But anyway,
So what's your gift there, Hillbilly Willie?
I'm not sure if I have one, to be honest.
I know what your gift is.
All right, go ahead. What is it?
Killing cheaters in Ark.
what an amazing segue.
Right? I'm like, that's the professional fucking segue if I ever heard one in my life. Bosch,
I wish that was what I was.
We're not worthy.
So about that killing cheaters in Ark.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's what we're here to talk about, man. But we always have a little segment.
I actually wanted to ask you guys, because it's hard for me to have a real perspective, because I don't, as I've gotten older, I play less and less games, because I think, again, I'm not sure if it's because I'm getting older, or if it's just like I've kind of played everything because I've been playing games so long. I don't really get excited about battle royales, and like I was I loved COD back in the day when I was much younger. I don't really get excited about Call of Duty.
Oh, that's not
I don't really get excited about that type of game anymore. But
sorry, I know you're just meeting me, which is amazing.
Laugh, this motherfucker thought you was talking about the wiener for a second.
Not those kinds of games, bro. I'll leave that to somebody else.
I think I lost interest in like COD and stuff like that because I don't think my reaction time's fast enough anymore.
That's my problem.
I'm not good at games anymore.
Yeah, I suck, dude. Like back in the day, we'd play, but we used to play on the regular basis and stuff, so you'd get really good and get good at it. But dude, now I feel like if I jump into just jump into COD right now, I'm so outmatched, bro. Like, I may get a couple kills here and there, but those guys have been playing that shit nonstop since that game came out, and I just get freaking murked.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons I like Ark. And what I was going to say, I know you guys have both been playing a lot of DayZ recently.
Yeah, buddy.
And it's a little bit. It's not that it's not still skill based. Obviously, you still have to be able to shoot the gun, but it's a lot. It's a lot slower, and you can use your knowledge and understanding and tactics a little more. Especially, well, Ark's a much different thing, but like, what do you guys see? Because I spend so much time playing Ark. I've got like 25,000 hours between console and PC.
That's
like
insane.
it's a ridiculous amount of
That's
hours.
insane.
And if you don't know what Ark is, I'll try to give you like the briefest understanding. But it's a survival game. So I put survival games in like two categories. You've got your DayZ survival, which is what I call looter shooter survival. A little bit of survival elements, but mostly you're trying to get weapons and ammo and better gear, and you kill players
and shoot people like Bosch. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Or each other
Or
accidentally, or fall off of ladders, or DayZ's got a lot of cool things. But Ark
shoot each
for me
other
is
on purpose as well.
Well, it's almost always on purpose. Let's be honest. Listen, friendly fire counts. You right? Kills are kills.
That's right. Kills a kill. That's right, baby.
Team kill, still a kill.
Yeah, exactly. Ark to me is a different thing, because it's more like it's like a weird social experiment, right? With dinosaurs as the background. They're just tools.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people would argue with me, because if you don't play the PvP part, it's not, people kind of tend to like their dinosaurs, but yeah. And so for me, the cheating in Ark is on such a different level than I've ever seen. So I was curious, since you've been playing a lot of DayZ, obviously with GTA, there's not cheating. It's not a thing you see in the role playing community as much, because they tend to take care of that a lot. But
what are you talking about? There's people everywhere cheating in their GTA.
Well, the biggest thing in GTA, the cheating wise,
for sure.
No,
the biggest thing with RP cheaters is like the crosshairs and stuff they use. Like people get after like actual crosshairs, and to where you can't see it. You know what I'm saying? But they'll have a little dot in the middle of their screen showing them where their crosshair is, so they can mark people like crazy.
Or metagaming, stream sniping.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to your.
Sorry. No. This is why I want you to tell me the craziest cheating you've experienced in any game you've played, recently. This is what I want to compare. Yeah. The craziest
cheating I've ever seen since I've played video games was in DayZ console.
And what did you see?
It got so much, it was duplicating items, duping. So there was always a freaking way they could never get it fixed, to where if you had an item and say dropped it on the ground and then logged out and logged back in, then you would have that item times however many ever or whatever.
Right.
And it got so bad that you would go and there would literally be like military tents spawned and different things just everywhere. And then like all the guns were so looted out. Like once there's so many guns on a server, they don't spawn anymore. So it got to the point where you would never find any loot. The coast was just covered with like tents and just all these freaking trash items that people are duping for no reason. And it got so bad that's when I left DayZ, because to me it was so broke that it wasn't playable anymore. And I went to Atlas for a while and played Atlas.
So you went from like the smallest cheating to the biggest cheating you could possibly go.
Yes, absolutely. And I ran into that shit. Yeah, I jumped right into that thing.
The flying whales and all the crazy crap they were doing.
Yeah. Well,
okay, see, I
was still on console at that point, man. That was wild times.
So the worst cheater I've ever dealt with. Good.
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah,
I was all through that. I think that's where we met.
Through the Atlas stuff and all that. Yep, for sure.
So, but seriously, the worst cheater I ever dealt with was my buddy picked Odd Job in 007 when no one was allowed to, and that was the worst cheating I ever fucking dealt with.
Dolph is saying he's never really run into it much. Other
than
like sniper type stuff.
That's crazy.
But in my defense, cheating, so I wasn't gaming during all like the Xbox 360 and the PS3, like when all these games were starting to come around. I was being a dad. I was not being a fucking gamer at all.
What a loser!
This guy. But I thought that I had to give up gaming to be a responsible adult and actually do, but I was working 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week too. So there was a lot going on. It didn't leave me time to game. So I could see things. I've seen things. I've heard of things like the duping and fucking, aim bots and shit like that, or lag switches and shit like that. Like I've heard of all this stuff, but I've never dealt with it on a personal level.
I just recently got killed by a stream sniper that was using aimbot on
Fuck yeah.
Karma Crew DayZ server, and then I reported it, and they're the ones that came back and showed me the proof that he was aimbotting because he shot me and he was nowhere where he could even see me.
Okay.
So I just ran into that recently. So what's like on Arc? What's the number one type of cheating you run into on Arc?
There isn't one. This is what I was kind of wanting to talk about because this has just been happening a lot. But so if you don't know the story of Arc, it is a wild story. Like, when it first came out, I think it was like 2000. So it's about 8 years old. So like 2015, I think was when it came out originally, like early access or whatever they did on Steam back then.
Still rocking too, man. That's crazy,
right?
That's
yeah,
awesome.
and it still rocks pretty high. Like, so anyway, there's a lot to this. So I'll try to keep some of it short. But
talk away.
Okay,
man.
so let me answer your question.
This
directly
is a talk
first.
show.
Let me answer your question directly first. So when it comes to like aimbotting and duping, we're so far past that. Nobody even talks about that anymore. We've we've gotten to the point where like, I'm not going to say that they did this on purpose, that this was like a developer decision, but there have been some things added to the game that felt like it was so there's, you know what a stegosaurus is? It's a real dinosaur that exists.
The motherfuckers are badass. That's one of my favorites, dude.
So in Arc,
you
use that. You use that as what we call a soaker, which is like a tank. So Arc is about giant bases and lots of turrets to defend those bases, and then players fighting each other for ground control. You know, whatever. This is such a hard thing to describe in any amount of time. But anyway, so what they did was they made stegos where you can't really shoot somebody on the back of it. So if you're on it, you're kind of safe. And so as soon as somebody starts aimbotting,
you can't get hit or anything like that.
Right. So as soon as people start aimbotting, everybody just throws out a stego and sits on it and shoots them until they fuck off. Like that. So I'm not saying they did that.
Using one cheat to defeat another cheat. I got.
Well, that's not even a cheat.
Or is it not a cheat? It's just the way.
No, because the stego is built to be that way. You can't get hit while sitting on it as easily. There is still ways to do it, but you're basically just. But what I was saying was like I'm not sure if the developers did that on purpose, but maybe they did. You know, maybe they saw like we'll never be able to combat aimbot for good.
But that's something that anybody that just joins in the game could do.
Yeah, if you have a stego, you just toss it out and sit on it. But
that's
so
so
it's gotten
great.
to the point where like those types of things, like duping and aimbotting, happen so frequently that those aren't even things we can talk about. They're not even worth mentioning. The things that we deal with now, the most recent is something called spoofing, and I'm not an expert, so I'm going to give you the dumb redneck version of my understanding. I feel like
that should be a sexual move.
Yeah.
You put your leg over the top of her.
Okay, I will let you guys.
All right. Sorry. Okay.
So spoofing is basically, I don't really know how it works. I'm giving you like the most generic, could be a little wrong about it, but the idea is that somehow you convince the Arc server that you're on somebody else's Steam account using their IP. Okay? When you log in, you're now their character. And so let's say that you and I are enemies like an Atlas, okay? You're the tribe leader, or whatever it was called, an Atlas. You know, you're the leader of the group. Your base is, you're in charge of your base and all your ships. Well, I would spoof your account, log in as you. The game thinks I'm you, and now I can kick everybody out of tribe. I can delete your character because I'm not on your Steam account, but the game thinks I'm you, so I'm your character.
No, that's a whole nother level of cheating. Dude.
Yeah,
wow. Shit, bro.
So that's been happening a lot recently on this. There's a lot of game modes in Arc, but currently most people are playing Conquest.
Bro, them people that figure that shit out put in a lot of time to try to. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin to try to do something like that. That's wild.
I mean, I'm not going to explain any of it.
I don't know. I don't want you to explain that.
Yeah, okay. Explain any cheats.
We don't want to help these motherfuckers out, dude.
Yeah, but so that's that tells you, and the reason is because, of course, in DayZ there's loss in DayZ. If you die, you start back over or whatever. But in Arc, you have to understand that. So there's a new Arc coming out. Arc, it's called ASA, which is Arc Survival Ascended, which is basically Arc 1 remade in UE5, and they're making a bunch of changes and adding a bunch of new stuff. And
Right.
there was a little bit of controversy because they're charging you for technically the same game, but they're, it's going to be in theory, it's going to be a much better version. And so for us, it's like Ark hasn't wiped. The official servers haven't wiped in 5 years.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
So it's not a reality necessarily, but in theory, there's still people and bases and things that could be 5 years old. There's definitely players that are that old that have been playing since the beginning, for sure, on and off or whatever. But the way that breeding works in Ark is, so if you get, I know Bosch may not be familiar.
Oh God,
but
we're about to get a sex
male
lesson
dinosaur and a female dinosaur, and if they love each other, yeah, exactly. So anyway, but the more you breed, you can breed certain stats into them. So if it's, a DPS dinosaur, you can breed in more melee damage, which means that the more further down the mutations you get, the breeding you get, the stronger your dinosaur gets. Same thing with tankings. So if you have a stego, and when you first tame a stego, it may have 20k HP, 20,000 hit points.
Right.
By the time we were done, which was we had maxed the mutations over 5 years, it came out, it would end up at like 300,000 HP.
Jesus.
And so, but that took, it didn't quite take 5 years, but let's say three and a half years maybe to max those out. So we're talking about 3 years of constant, working to get dinosaurs in this position.
Yeah, no shit.
So loss in Ark means a lot more than almost any other game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because somebody comes in and just wipes that shit. You just lost 3 years of fucking.
Yes, your progress is stunned in 3 years. So those things,
that game, that's wild.
Exactly.
Dude.
And so Ark created a weird situation where, not number one, you a lot more people are willing to cheat because they're not willing to lose all their hard work. That's number one.
Right.
So,
right.
And number two, there's a huge RMT market in Ark. Until they announced that Ark was going to wipe, you could go on right now to it wouldn't take you 5 seconds to Google search it, and you can buy everything in the game you want with real money.
Right.
And
I don't understand how do you combat that then? How do you keep from, you know what I'm saying? How would you go about stopping that, or how do you fix something like that?
Well, there's a lot of issues and a lot of variables to it. My big thing is you just have to have active enforcement. If you're going to try to beat them on the back end, you're going to lose. You're never going to win that fight. Because once they figured out, especially again in a game of Ark with so much loss and so much, because in any game, the real thing that we don't want to lose is our time investment, right? That's why in DayZ, it sucks to lose shit. But the reality is you can have a lot of the same stuff again in 1 day's playtime.
Yeah, you're not talking about, it sucks, but you're going to have it all back within a few hours. But you're talking
as long as it's not like a base raid, like we had, we had the first base that I got involved in with this group, we got raided one day, and I was actually in the base when it got raided. I got killed very, very quickly because I was 3 days into playing the game. I was well above my level. But yeah, they fucking griefed everything in our base, though. They killed us all as we came in, and then griefed all of our shit too. It just pissed me off.
Even at that, we're only talking a few months rather than you're talking.
No, it wasn't even that. It was fucking a week or two. It was 2 weeks worth of shit. I couldn't imagine 5 years worth of shit.
Oh God,
8 years worth of shit.
And again, remember, I say 5 years, but the reality is, most things don't last that long. You get raided. Because of the rampage. So my whole thing is you have to have active enforcement. You can't beat the cheaters by fighting the cheat itself. What you do is if you catch somebody cheating, you just overly punish them.
Yes.
Now the problem in Ark is you can buy an Ark account right now on a few websites that are not even that shady, to be fair, like G2G, and you can get the whole thing for $5. So nobody cares. The cheaters don't care, and you got to understand.
They spend $5 for another copy and they get another account or whatever. I got you.
Yep. And so, and you also have to understand that these cheats are not free. We're not talking about buy an aimbot, have an aimbot. This stuff is not just an aimbot. It's an aimbot. It's an ESP. If you turn on the aimbot program you get, you can see how many bullets we have in our turrets. You can see,
That's
where all our stuff
crazy.
is hidden. You can see where all the players are. You can see what weapon I'm holding. You can see how much health I
anybody
have.
that's doing that kind of stuff that gets caught should be permanently banned instantly.
Yes.
I wouldn't understand why you wouldn't be.
Because
it would make no sense.
Because you
to
can
play
get a
like that
$5
to just-
account and you're right back. That's why.
Oh, so you can't. I mean, there's really no way to do it. Then.
But there is though. Like if you look at the way they do it in like in GTA or whatever, you make it so that VPNs aren't allowed, and your IP bans somebody, and then you're done. Like
Well, if you're not allowed,
they
to use
originally
VPNs to
started
play.
handing out hardware ID bans.
yeah.
Which in theory is really good, except for the aimbot program comes with a spoofer, a hardware ID spoofer.
Jesus.
Damn,
You gotta understand this is so in most games,
Uh,
these people are paying for the like shitty version of this aimbot, and I'm talking about the one that's like that. We're not even afraid to fight these idiots. Like we'll fight these guys every day because we know they're shit and they're poor, so they're not gonna have the like. We're not afraid to fight them. That's still $20. That's $20 a month they pay to use this cheat. It's not
Good
it's
night.
not like you can't just like go buy the cheat and then it's yours forever. No, you're paying monthly to run these cheats. And
That's
these,
insane.
I wonder if there's anything they could do like legally against the company that's making
probably
the cheat
if they
stuff.
could find it, but
you'd probably
there's
get tied up in. all
there's some
kinds of
other
legal
problems
stuff,
that that is not even worth talking about with the like how they made the game originally. Kind of the coding was a little spaghetti and it allows some
Right.
weaknesses that people are eating.
Well, I can't imagine because Atlas was such a great game and smooth and everything.
Well, you understand, Atlas is basically art code wise.
Good
right?
night,
There's
bro.
some
That
changes,
game had
but-
some issues too.
Yeah. And so it's just it's such a weird thing. So let me give you this again. I'm doing all the talking. I apologize, but let me give you the.
That's what
That's
you're
what
here
you're here
for,
for.
man.
That's the whole point.
So here's where the story gets even crazier. So we've got the cheating, we've got the cheats, which is a huge money making deal in Ark, and obviously it's in other games too. I'm not. This is not about like Ark is unique in that way, obviously. And then you've got the RMT, which is huge, and all of these things work together to make a huge profit for people who are willing to do it. So there was a time in Ark, and it's not even that long past, where if you had a server, so let's say you wiped a server or got control of a server, and when I say a server, it's a map. Usually in Ark, one tribe owns the entire server.
Right.
And so when you want to raid somebody, we're not talking about raiding a base that's on your server. We're talking about we're taking our stuff, we're uploading it because they allow this in Ark, which is one of the things that kept Ark alive.
Yeah,
for so
this
long,
is
to be
kind of
honest.
cool. Yeah.
And we transfer to your server. We build a fob. The fob becomes huge as shit. We all poured in dinos, ammo, bullets, the things we need to fight, and then we try to wipe you off of your server. That's the like.
Yeah, you're
baseline
fighting
of it.
from server to server trying to take over
Correct.
another person's server.
Correct.
That's
And these
insane.
fights-
Yeah, it's
And these
cool.
fights
That's
last
cool.
anywhere from a few hours to weeks weeks. The same fight can go on because when you own a whole server, you're going to have lots of, I won't say bases, but you understand what I mean. There's going to be lots of
Yeah,
structure there. You got dinos being raised all over the place. You got different things you use in Ark, and so it may take you days. I mean, the longest one I remember is it was almost a month worth of fighting every day. It's 24 hours a day. It doesn't stop. There's people from all over the world. They log in. The server stays capped, meaning we do the thing that we call join sim, which is you just sit there pressing join until you get in. And
right, yeah. Atlas was
so the
same
wars
way.
can last. And so because of this, there's such a financial thing. So if you were to take a server and you could turn around and sell the server for real money. And so what started happening was, well, if I can sell you an empty server that we just wiped, we can put some stuff in there for you to have. I can sell that real money for at the height of it, we're talking $2,000 to $5,000.
Damn.
Well, what's even better then is if I just spoof the account, it's now all of the shit on there is mine, and now I'll just sell you everything. Well, now that's
Right.
$5,000 to $10,000 because you don't have to rebuild it. And so the incentive to cheat got way bigger as time went on. And so here's where it gets. I've hit you with some like baseline
Yeah,
insanity.
That's crazy stuff.
Here's
man.
where
yeah.
we dive
I'm fucking
into-
blown away, just so you know.
Okay,
Like,
well, get
completely.
ready for this. Back in the day, Ark. So when Arc started, there was two guys, Jeremy and Jesse, who had the idea for the game. I think one of or both of them worked for a different company. They left that company, started Arc, got sued for whatever non-compete, or I don't remember the details to what happened. And they really didn't have a way to pay for it. So they got bought out by a Chinese company called Snail Games. Now, Snail Games has made a bunch of other stuff, Dark and Light. They were in charge of Atlas, obviously.
Yeah.
Last Oasis, if you remember Last Oasis. Published for Last Oasis. But
I really was hoping that game would go somewhere.
Dude, that game was so good. It had every chance in the world.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was fun.
I know,
so
right?
Did Atlas, in fairness. Yeah, so we got to get Dom into way more survival games, bro. That's where the fun's at.
I just got him into it, man.
I hated survival games my whole life, and then I really wanted to play DayZ, and I liked DayZ because it had the gun element. It was cool. It was fun. I like zombies and shit. And then I'm now playing Sons of the Forest. Now I bought what was the other one I got?
I don't count those. I don't count PvE only games. Those are fun.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong
it was
with
fun.
them, but
it was
about. You got to take him now to Rust. You go from DayZ, you go to Rust. That's how you get your next set of
your next
holy
step.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't even like Rust, man. I'm terrible at Rust.
I've never played
it,
man.
Bullied.
I never got into it.
It's fun. It's really fun.
My son plays the crap out of it.
Very similar to DayZ, but way faster. It's like a more mixed.
That's not what I want.
Yeah.
I'm old. I like the slow part. That's what I like about DayZ.
But Rust is a little bit like, it's fun for, you hit a wipe, you play for a couple of days, and you go back to the game. You were like, that's how I play Rust. Now, there's people who play Rust all day, every day, love it to death, whatever. But my Rust thing is if I'm going to play it, and I just tend to play Arc, so I don't get around to playing other stuff that often. But yeah, I play it for a short amount of time. So anyway, they get bought out by Snail Games.
Right.
And the owner of this is going to sound like I'm making this up. The owner of Snail Games loves Arc and starts a tribe. Now, he doesn't tell anybody, but he starts a tribe and has people in the office log on every day and play in his tribe as part of their job.
Really? What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay.
What the?
Okay, so now you've got a highly competitive. Now, this is the early days, so cheating is there, but it's not where we are today by any means.
Right.
But then he starts doing shit like telling the devs that he owns that he needs them to take a server offline. We're getting raided. I need you to drop a server. Oh, we lost a bunch of stuff. I need you to spawn me some shit in. And now, on one hand, benefit of the doubt, you'd like to say that the devs are like, no, we don't want to do that. But on the other hand, that's technically my boss now, who owns all the the proprietary everything, all of it. And so some of that started happening. So there would be, and so then what happened was some of the devs who weren't a fan would spawn in stuff for their enemies to help fight against that. And it became this really shitty thing that happened. So, making a long story short, basically at one point there was an agreement reached. The tribe was called TEA. That's it. That was what the tribe was called.
Right.
At one point they agreed to leave official servers. So no more playing on official. And they created something called Conquest, which is the thing that we've been playing recently, and they put them over there.
Right.
And that's where T went. Now the problem is that the people who manage those servers, as far as banning people and trying to combat cheating or whatever, are Snail Games people. So if you fight this clan, you get banned, you get dev wiped, they accuse you of cheating. And so so what happened was a couple of months ago, they announced that Arc 1 is ending. They're wiping all of official for the first time in 5 years. Hasn't been done in 5 years. This is it. We're wiping it. Everything's gone. We're starting over when ASA comes out. So everybody from official said, well, there's no reason to keep playing this because it's not that much fun anyway. We're basically just here now for bragging rights and talking shit. And we fight a lot, but it's not, there's no progress anymore because everybody kind of has everything. So Conquest was going to be like the last hurrah. All the big tribes were coming to Conquest that had never even played it before. You've got all your big 1X, your 6-man, all the YouTubers are there. All the streamers are coming. And in the first 3 weeks, they had already banned and dev wiped almost everybody who was a streamer, a YouTuber, or a tribe on 1X. They had banned them for various reasons, some of which I won't say they were impossible to be, but there was some very specific things that happened where one group of streamers and YouTubers got mad and went to war with T and videoed the whole thing, set it all up. The thing that they were banning for was aimbot, so they would ban you and dev wipe your whole tribe for it, which personally I think is good. That's how actually I think that it should be handled. If you are cheating for your team, we now have to punish everybody on your team, because we can't punish just the person cheating. They're going to buy a $5 account. So while technically I agree that's how it should be done, because you to ever combat where ARC is, you're going to have to like really, it's going to have to be a brutal amount of discipline, basically. Enforcement.
Do you think that if they did start doing that,
you have to make it so that
a bunch
players,
of people away?
Well, it would, but you have to make it to where players who aren't doing anything wrong and who just want to play the game legit stop playing with people who don't, until those people aren't able to play the game anymore.
Yeah.
And that's just it would suck. It would definitely hurt the community for a while, but there's no other way around it. You have to just punish everybody for the sins of the few, you know?
Right.
And but the problem is, on these servers, they were doing it for no reason. There was no evidence really, and they were just doing it because they were afraid of losing their base. So all these YouTubers, very famous YouTubers in ARC, very famous streamers in ARC.
How is there not a? Oh, go ahead.
There was. Oh, you can look this up. If you Google search, go on YouTube and look up Conquest T Cheater Tribe, all that kind of. Oh, you'll find thousands of hours of content about it. Right. But yeah, so that's just what happened in the last 3 or 4 months. So yeah, it's just been such a wild thing, and obviously we all hope that they're UE5 is going to offer much better opportunity for them to like clean up their coding, and UE5 is going to be a much better engine as far as like protection, and then maybe they'll get a better enforcement team. But
let me ask you this then, with the game in that situation and with all that going on, what keeps you playing that game?
That was my question too.
That's the craziest thing, and it's the hardest thing for anybody who has never played it to understand. But there is no other game that I can even remotely think of. Atlas is probably the closest. Any of those types of games, there's no. We streamed a war the other night, and there's just no other feeling of that giant battle where there's 100 players on a server, half and half roughly somewhere in there, and we're just duking it out. And dinosaurs are dying by the 10 at a time, 15 at a time, and you're just throwing more out, and we're going back, and we're going back, and we're lining it up, and there's all these moving parts. There's people in the air on flying dinos. There's people on the ground on foot. There's people on. There's no other game that can even come close to giving that same amount of adrenaline rush of understanding that, if we win this, we keep all of our stuff. If we lose this, everything is gone.
Right.
And so we put up with all of this crap just for those moments. I think is what it must be.
I experienced that a little bit on a game. Those kind of battles anyway. Probably not on the same scale as ARC, but when I first, one of the best games I ever played,
Sim 4,
one of my favorite, Sims 4 Dungeon Edition, was the original Planet Side. And Planet Side was another game similar to that, where that was the one game that I played where the battles were so massive, dude. It was ridiculous, especially if you got into that, because you had 3 different races or whatever, right, that you could play, and sometimes you'd get a battle over one base and all 3 groups would be there, and it just, you got tanks and planes and bombers and all this other stuff, and I got, you don't have that aspect of where you invested so much time like you do on ARC, but it was such a large scale battle that made that game so cool to me. But then I never played the second one.
Have you played either one of you played Hell Let Loose, the World War II game?
I bought it, but I haven't really played it yet. I tried to play it, and I just kept getting shot in my head. So
Well, that happens a lot no matter how long you play it.
But I didn't have a squad or
definitely
nothing. It was just me, and I just jumped
Yeah.
in there. I'd never touched it. And I think like the server on DayZ or something went down, and I just jumped in there for a minute, dude, and I was just getting murked. But the graphics and the sound effects and stuff were amazing, dude.
That game has the same feeling where it's like big battle, people everywhere, tanks moving in and out. But again, like you
Right.
said, I think the thing that makes Ark unique, like for me at least, is the amount of coordination that's happening. That
Right.
most people don't get to see either, because we normally mute comms because there's a lot of
Yeah.
non TOS friendly things that get yelled at for people being idiots. But and plus you don't want the enemy to hear what you're planning, what your next thoughts are.
Trust
that
me,
kind of thing.
I've dealt with that, bro. I got one of the
for
main
sure.
reasons I ended up leaving Atlas is because I got into it with SDC, a group that was
Uh-huh.
on Atlas, because I just happened to show up in a server where they were getting ready to like try to come around and raid this other group. And I was streaming, and I showed their boats on my stream or whatever or something, and they freaked out. And it was like it just started this whole thing because I pretty much told them to go fuck themselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, fuck you, bitch. And the next thing I know, they just all show up and just start just berating us and just destroyed everything we had, But anyway,
That's always good.
So yeah, but I think it's that, like you said, it's that. So if we use 100 dinos and 10,000 ammo of whatever kind the day before to fight, the next day all that has to be refarmed and remade and rebuilt and redone, and that's what makes it so unique. It's not like if I die in Hell Let Loose, or if I die in, I think it was the same in Planetside, you're a ticket basically, right? But that's the only loss. Was Planetside different than that?
No, Planet. Well, God, it's been so long since I played it, but no, I don't think you really had any.
Time too.
I don't think you had much loss. Like you would have a time limit on a vehicle or something when it got destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
where you couldn't get that same vehicle again. Or like if you had to say a mech suit or something, there may be a time limit before you could spawn back in as that, or whatever. But
right,
nothing.
But it
major.
wasn't like you could just drain them of their resource of vehicles, for instance.
The only way you could drain them of the resource of vehicles was by taking let me explain. Like you had different islands, right? Just different islands, and there's multiple bases on the island. There was certain like portals where you would come into the island, and then to move on, for your group to move on to that island, if it was owned by another group, you had to take the base that was connected to that portal first, right? So that kept the fight all grouped on that one base. And then from that base, once you took it, then you could move to the other bases that were connected to that base and attack. And then they had certain vehicle bases. Like some of those bases, only certain bases could spawn vehicles. So if you could take their vehicles bases, then you could deplete them of their vehicles that way, but that was it.
Right, gotcha. Okay, yeah. And then the other thing that makes Ark unique.
That's pretty good for me being stoned, dude. I did good.
Dude, I didn't hear a fucking thing that you just said.
Dolph heard.
So, no, seriously, listen, you got to hear what the whole time I'm sitting there listening to him, or trying to, he's like doing these hand motions and shit. I'm like, if you just view him right now, it's very sexual in content. He's like,
tweak the nipples. You gotta tweak the nipple over here. Then you gotta move. Then you go over here.
And then over here, and like this, and like this. I'm like, what the fuck? Has he not seen this too? Hillbilly, what's up, man? Sorry.
I got Dolphin aroused. I apologize.
No. But yeah,
God, now I forgot what I was talking about, you asshole.
Well, I was talking about like the uniqueness of Ark and why we play it still.
Right.
I think the other big thing is this. Okay, you remember in Last Oasis, if you like destroyed somebody's walker or you were trying to raid their little base or whatever, there came a point where you realized the only valuable thing they had was the flame stuff you needed to raid the next one.
Right.
And when that happens, you're PvPing for the sake of PvP. And not that that's not fun for a little while, it certainly is. But eventually, there's just better games to play if you want to just PvP for the sake of
for
PvP.
outright PvP, yeah.
What makes Ark amazing is in Ark, I can steal everything you have. If you have dinosaurs that aren't like that, so there's a way to, basically there's something called a cryopod. It's like a little Pokeball kind of idea. And
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, and so originally I think it was used as a way to like cut down on the amount of dinos that were out in the world.
Stressing the server or whatever.
Right, exactly. It was a way to cut down on server or make server performance a little bit better. But it was the really cool side effect is that if I kill you and you have a really good dinosaur on you, I can take it. Now it's mine. And if I throw it out, it belongs to me. And so in these wars, and again, this doesn't matter like hugely in the situation we're in now, because this is a short-term game mode. It's, they usually do 3, 4, or 5 months and they reset it. But if when the game starts over with ASA, there's a race to the breeding. So, I was talking about it took like 3 years to get to the max stats. So if I'm fighting you and you have a way better, the biggest melee dinosaur for the longest time is a Giga. You know what a Giga is? It was a real dinosaur, the Giganotosaurus. It was a real thing. Oh. Similar to a Rex. It's kind of like the thing in the newer Jurassic Park. That was like a variant of the Giga, I think.
Right.
And anyway, for the longest time, there's actually a new one now, but for the longest time, that was the best dino. And so if I killed you and I got one of yours and you had a way better stat than I did on melee and you had forgotten to neuter or spay it, now I can put that into my breed line and now I have your statted dinos. And I can grow them and raise them. You see what I'm saying?
So you just talk about neutering a fucking dinosaur in a game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is so wild, man. The game is crazy. I played it a little bit, but not obviously nothing on your level, but you know what I'm saying? It's wild.
Of course. You need to come play with us some more.
Dude, I joined in there, bro, and I tell you, dude, like you guys are so far advanced, bro, for a newbie coming in, dude. It's so overwhelming, bro.
I watched him try to play with you. It was fucking difficult to follow, and he was fucking lost.
We'll do a day or two with just the three of us if you guys want to. And I have my own servers that we have up that are PvE. There's no PvP. And I'll just show you the game and you can at least experience the game.
I'd be down for that. That'd be
cool. And I won't have, it won't be like 30 of us because the problem was this is my bad for inviting you to this, but I do it to everybody. I'm like, just come play, bro. But we really do move fast, even though it's slow for me. Well, no,
because you guys were running me through to get my levels, right? Because when you first start out, you're like, I built my little box and then you guys show up and you're like, go do this note run or whatever. And I'm like, next thing you know, I'm level, I don't even fucking know. I don't even remember, but I'm way fucking up. And I got all these different points to put in and for weight carrying and all this. And then when I show up and you guys had already built up this huge base, it wasn't even done yet, but it was just massive up on top of one of the towers. And you gave me a dinosaur and some different shit. And I'm like, fuck it. I just started flying around going to get blueprints. That's all I did. I'm like, dude, I don't know what. I don't want to touch anything here.
Well, and that's the cool thing is that even
I wanted to whistle all your dinosaurs, though. I really did.
Even if that's all you did, that's still so valuable, especially early game, especially in the beginning of a wipe. Because there's,
Well, I enjoyed that part because I never knew what I was going to find when I showed up at one of them deals to get blueprints or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
But yeah, if you guys were really interested, we could do that. Because, like I said, this Conquest thing, it's not going to last that much longer. It's sort of winding down now that they've banned all the players for whatever reason. And,
it makes us so
we'll
wild.
have some time. Yeah, dude, it's the crazy.
So it's like the people that run the game are wiping other people for attacking them on their game.
They're not admitting to that. Obviously, they would argue.
They're not. Of course, they're going to call bullshit.
Listen, if you want to fry your egg one day and go down a rabbit hole, bro, just look it up. Look up Snell Games Arc cheaters or whatever. Just put those three keywords.
It's called T, right?
TEA, and you'll get one hell of a rabbit hole. And if you're high, it'll probably be hilarious to you. But
I'd be interested.
I'm giving you I'm giving you the briefest, snapshot of it. But yeah, it sounds like I'm selling Arc, and I kind of am. I want to see a company come out and give me and I think that's the sad thing. And
how is there not another company that's out to put something out equivalent to this, but more updated, I guess, or whatever?
That's my whole thing is, if you're a company who makes a survival game, and the game you make can't pull me off of a game that is this frustratingly awful.
Well, same with DayZ, man.
How in the hell are you ever going to, what is wrong with your company? You're making a terrible game if you can't pull me off of a game that's so full of bullshit and cheating. It's just unbelievable. And
right now, I went through, DayZ was the same way, but DayZ for now, anyway, I mean, it's the most polished it's been since I've ever started playing it. It's pretty legit now. It's a real I mean, there's still some issues here and there, but like, dude, it's come so far from when I first started playing it.
Wasn't it?
And so
was
I
it like
can
2 years ago that, or it might have been even more now, that they kind of turned a corner and they redid a whole bunch of stuff and it sort of cleaned up a lot of it. Not the cheating part, but just the game itself.
The game
I feel
itself
like there
and the
was
way
a
it plays
moment-
and everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
they've really
yeah.
come a long way over the last couple
Yeah.
of years, dude. Big time.
Can you?
Yeah, I
can you
know,
drive cars
absolutely.
yet?
What's that?
Can you drive cars yet without them falling apart?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can drive. Now they will glitch out every once in a while and kill your ass still, though, bro. But yeah, it's better than what it was.
I
Dolph
fly
on
choppers.
Dolph has a freaking chopper he flies around on his RP server he plays
shit.
on, so
Hell
like an
yeah.
actual millie chopper and shit, which is kind of cool.
Do you like the RP server?
I love the RP server. I cannot wait for them to get fucking good at RP. It's so frustrating,
It's a good
honestly.
server, yeah.
I think that and I haven't played DayZ RP in a long time, but I played it out of necessity because it was the only place you could go and not just get shot by 80 million dudes.
That's why I
small
went to
town.
RP. Absolutely. Yeah.
I can, like the first RP, and this isn't even really RP. Let's be honest, but I did was Arma 3, which was basically just like you yelled hands up or shoot as you shot them. Hands up or die, but I'm already shooting because there's no way they're putting their hands up.
Hands up
And,
or brr.
And so for me, it was like those. I
Sounds like fucking GTA RP.
yeah,
Right.
kind
Sometimes.
of. Yeah, exactly. I think I played a DayZ RP server several years ago, but I liked that for the same reason. It was like it just slowed it down just a little bit. Like you were still just as likely to get shot. You were still probably going to get murdered by 10 dudes hiding, but at least you had a chance, and they weren't just sniping you from across.
So the server I play on, they are the most docile fucking players I've ever played with in DayZ. I'm the aggressive one, and Bosch will tell you I'm not. Like I'm about to turn my group into the bad guys of the fucking, because we're gonna start robbing people. Everybody wants to be fucking homies and friends. Fuck that. I'm gonna start killing some motherfuckers out here. Like I'm gonna get down and dirty. Tanning's down.
You need to be like me and Builder playing together. That's what you need, man. I was just playing with Builder the other day, and like literally, it was a Friday night, this Friday, motherfucker. I was sitting there playing, and I'm like, I literally just go live. I get in the server. Builder logs in, and he's like, "We're kitted out, dude." And I'm like, "All right, let's go over here and do this or whatever." And we start running, and literally 10 minutes into the stream, he fucks up, forgets he has his gun in his fucking hand, and shoots me in the face, and I'm dead. Like, fully kitted out to the coast, like that. He's like, "Oh, my bad,
my bad, bro."
We get all fucked up
my
and
bad,
shit.
Treats brought him up today in stream. I told him, like you want to know the funny thing about Builder? That motherfucker doesn't build shit.
Right.
Yeah,
Let
one
me
of my
ask you
favorite
this, man.
DayZ memories was from an RP server. There was like,
it
was like 8 of us, maybe 6 of us or something. And we were like, I don't know the map anymore, but we were somewhere probably headed north to the airfield or something. And it was nighttime. Right. It was nighttime, and we took the long route because none of us were like geared up very much. We just kind of started that day. And we see like off in the distance, you've got like a building, one of the construction sites. Okay. And we can see that there's lights on top of it moving around. So we're like, oh shit, let's see what's going on. So we like creep up. We're in the woods, it's in a kind of an open area. We're sitting in the woods, and there's 4 or 5 or 6 dudes up there, and they're running around, and we're kind of watching, and are we going to engage them? Like we're talking through what the plan is. And all of a sudden we see that 2 of them are handcuffed. And they walk these 2 dudes to the edge of the building, and we can't hear a thing they say. We have no idea.
We're just watching, yeah.
And then we're just assuming, but they made them jump off.
Shit,
dude, it was so dope. And we're like watching this, like, shit. Do we intervene? Like, do we try to go in? Like, and by the time we had finished arguing about what the plan was, they had already left. But like, it was such a moment of coolness because that would never have happened if it wasn't for the RP server. Because we had to actually have an idea and a plan for how to engage that. Otherwise, we would have just shot them. The moment would have never happened. They would have never taken prisoners anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was just that was.
We
so
used to
cool.
do that on just a regular server. What I would do, we'd go around and we'd get some of these guys, get them at gunpoint, like most of the time freshies, but we'd have a burlap sack and like either rope or handcuffs and handcuff them, put the burlap sack on. Then I'd take a knife and cut them like twice. And then like time it to see if they could get out of the handcuffs and take the bag off and patch themselves up before they bled out. That shit was so fun.
What a dick move.
Yeah. We used to do that like all the time.
Yeah, you've got the perfect like attitude for a game like Ark. You need Ark.
That shit was amazing.
A little bit of twisted.
So before we wrap this thing up, man, I got to ask you, and just because the this is Two Fried Eggs podcast, I know you don't use cannabis, but have you ever?
I've eaten one edible in my entire life. That was it.
How was that experience for you? How much did you eat? How much did you eat?
I have no idea. So we went to Colorado, and well, my wife's gonna kill me for telling the story, but whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, fuck it. Nobody's even gonna hear it. Don't worry.
I mean, she's really listening at 55 minutes in.
She's probably already cut this shit off. Don't worry about it.
5 minutes. So we'll be all right. She doesn't like hearing me talk that much. But I don't know. It was like her whole family, and her dad bought everybody some edibles.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I just tried it for the sake of try. I have no idea how much it was. I don't remember like feeling anything. I'm a big dude, and it probably was way too small an amount. And yeah, now her mom definitely was feeling it. I don't know how many she had. But
that's awesome.
She's usually very like calm and reserved, and she was having herself a good old time. You know,
nice, man.
You could tell she liked it. But yeah, no, I've never. People ask me all the time because I don't drink either. I've never drank. I've never done drugs. And it's not some kind of. It's never been like the Bible says or anything like that. It was just when I was really young. I wanted to drink with my parents on New Year's Eve. I was like probably 8 or 9. Right. And whether it was her super intellect and understanding of what was going to be my reaction or just luck, my mom gave me champagne. Oh. And at 9, champagne might have been the worst thing the memory of it is still probably the worst thing I've ever had in my mouth ever. That it was awful. Champagne was not tasty to a 9-year-old's palate.
Mosh has had way worse in his mouth.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but he didn't hate it the way I hated the champagne, though.
Oh, he likes it, yeah, absolutely.
But it was just so bad. I just remember being like, "Nah, I'm good on that. Like, I'll prefer sweet tea, Dr. Pepper, and milkshakes, bro. I'm good. I don't. If this is alcohol, I don't want it."
Whoa! You brought two things together that I got to ask you. First of all, do you have Whataburger where you live?
We don't. We had one in California. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't even remember. I've been to Whataburger a few times, but I don't.
Did you ever try their Dr. Pepper shake?
No.
I love Dr. Pepper. Like, it sounds like you do, and I fucking hate this shake. It is the most disgusting thing. I love milkshakes. Yeah, dude.
There you go.
But you put Dr. Pepper flavored milkshake, and it is the most disgusting thing I've ever tried in my life.
All right, Dolph, let me ask you then. Diet Dr. Pepper. Does it taste the same as regular Dr. Pepper?
No, but it's good.
No, it's not. Okay. Okay. Dr. Pepper and Cherry Coke. Do you think they taste similar?
No.
I think
Dr. Pepper is 10 times better.
The initial taste that you first get drinking both is similar. You taste kind of the cherry flavor first, but then Dr. Pepper just kills it after that. It's just like not even close.
So my thing is with the Coke, it has the bite. I can take Coke has like a distinctive bite when you're drinking it, and so that does. To me, that takes away from the taste. That's why I like Dr. Pepper, because it doesn't have all that, and it just has the taste that goes with it.
Mountain Dew's where it's at anyway.
No.
As you're drinking fucking...
15-year-old kids.
What is that you're drinking over there?
Cran apple.
Cran apple?
Yeah. Keeping my innards good,
your period?
No, that's cran apple. It's delicious.
I like some cran apple.
Cran apple, good stuff.
You might spike it, but I don't. But I still drink.
Come on,
there ain't nothing in it. There ain't nothing in it. I haven't been drinking, man. I've just been getting my smoke on. I found that the drinking stuff was causing me issues sleeping, so I've kind of quit drinking for the most part now because anytime I do, I don't fucking sleep for shit. But
yeah,
well, that's cool, man. That really interests me as far as growing up and not doing a lot of drugs. In my world, to me that's weird. No,
Yeah,
no offense or
completely.
anything, but it's interesting to me how you go through that, because like to me, like I even battle with it. Like sometimes I smoke weed and it gives me anxiety and I fucking hate it. And then sometimes I smoke it and it's great. So it's one of them things where it's like I battle with it, but I still can't not do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Dude, I'm allergic to one of the carts that I bought the other day. I was telling him that every time I hit it, my eyes start fucking watering and itching and shit. Like it's an allergic reaction. I'm still going to smoke that, just so you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to take
That's
some
art.
fucking Benadryl and some Claritin.
Now you understand why I still play art.
Yes,
It's the same thing.
yes.
It's
Oh,
like
yes.
that drug. It's like, dude, this thing is terrible for me. It's terrible for my sleep schedule. We're up all fucking night. It's terrible for my stress level. But I'm, that's
So
what I'm
real
gonna keep playing it.
Real quick to wind this up, if you, what is the only way like you really see to fix, like to make ARC better or to fix the issue? You think it is just by stricter rules on cheaters and not just banning the single person and banning the whole tribe, or not banning the whole tribe but wiping the tribe and things like that?
I'm
Or
sure
how,
that there's
in your
other
opinion,
things.
how do you really fix it?
I think for any game, it's not there's not one solution. It's not just like, okay, if you just do this thing, then the cheating stops. Because as like I sort of demonstrated with art, there's too much money in cheating. So people are always.
This is what's been fucking with me down here. Look at this.
But people are always going to find a way to cheat because there's too much money involved.
Right.
And anytime there's that much money involved, and especially in a game like Ark, then the cheaters are going to be faster than the devs whose job is not solely to fight cheating. You understand? Like that's not their only job.
Yeah,
so
they got other shit to do. Yeah.
So for me, you start with the really harsh punishment. You punish the player, and if you can't punish a player, so in Ark it's kind of hard currently to do that. They may have a plan for that in the future. Then you have to punish unfortunately the people who through whatever you want to call it, whether it be inactivity, just letting it happen, not saying shit, you punish the team until the team is unwilling to play with you because they're tired of having all of their progress undone.
Arc 2 ever coming out?
We'd have to do a whole nother episode for that shit,
So I was watching through some of your clips earlier, and I picked one out to play. And it's kind of funny that it's a dev wipe one, and I want to play it. And hopefully you can tell me why you were dev wiped. But let's go ahead and share it.
Oh, cool! I want to see.
Okay, window.
I'm pretty sure I already know which one it is, but send away. How do I look at it?
He'll share it here in a minute. We're
Okay.
professionals at this. Don't worry. We got this all under control.
I mean, this actually is way easier than I was. Oh, look at this. Crap.
All right. It was. Where's that?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this one right here. Right here.
Oh,
God.
okay. Well, hold on. First of all, this is a joke. This is me just trolling a little bit. This was after we got dev wipe, but this is me. I went to another server and just started beating up on naked Bobs who.
Nice ass, bro.
Right?
Woohoo!
All
I
right,
can play the clip and then ask.
It's a funny clip, though.
Wait,
It
does
is
Hillbilly
funny.
have dimples on his back? Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, little bit.
I got a
That's
perfect
right.
spot for a tramp stamp.
That's where you put your thumbs. Oh, sorry.
Is there sound for this or no?
Yeah, why don't we have sound, Dolph?
Well, the sound is what makes it funny, I think, because if you can
you
hear
guys-
me yelling.
Yeah, we can't hear it.
All right, hold on.
I know what I'm saying, so I don't need to hear it, but maybe Bosch wants to hear it.
Share tab audio.
I gotta get me one of those hats, by the way, Bosch.
BGC hat?
Can you hear?
I'll send you one, bro. Just send me your address.
Bitch, I got.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm afraid of your little bullshit. Fuck you.
Afraid of your little
Fuck
bullshit.
You.
Fuck
out.
you.
Night night.
Damn,
You
KO.
next, bitch.
Oh,
Gang gang, bitch. Gang gang. I'm the only one left. Fuck you. Night night, bitch. Gang gang.
night, bitch. Gang, gang. Well, Leroy coming through there. That's what that is.
Never swing at me like that.
Goddamn. I'll shoot your ass,
Gang,
motherfucker.
gang, bitch.
That kid's ass, son.
So,
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
this was right after we had gotten dev wipe. And
Oh my god, I died laughing watching that. Gang, gang, bitch! I'm like, oh my god, this is priceless. I love it.
The tribe name of the people who I was playing with. So I play with different groups a lot of the times. Just depends on what's going on. And this time, because I was playing with a couple of friends of mine who are also streamers, I joined them in a group that I hadn't played with before. But they're called Gang Gang. That is actually their name. And so and they've been around.
Okay,
they've been
makes
around
sense.
for a long time, like for many years now. And they're probably one of the most famous. When I say 1X, I mean official, like the normal official servers. They're probably one of the most famous tribes on official. And they're sort of, so to go ahead and if you want to ask the specific question, you can.
Why are you dev wiped? Yes, that's
okay,
what I would
so this goes back to what I was talking about with Snail Games.
Uh-huh.
Now there's two pieces to this. Gang Gang is notorious, and some of that notoriety does include cheating in their past. But the person who dev wiped us was also Snail Games and T. And so I will say, from my own perspective, because I do care about cheating and I hate it and I try to fight it anytime I see it, obviously, I never saw any signs that we were cheating. None. Now, there was over 200 people in our tribe. So it's very possible that somebody was doing some shady shit somewhere and, they got caught. But from what I saw on, in the main tribe and in the main areas, I didn't see anything that I thought looked even remotely suspicious. So again, there's some name recognition that goes with Gang Gang that means that people are already just quick to make that judgment. And then you also on the other side have T and Snail Games, which everybody's quick to make some judgment. So they don't tell you why they ban you or why they dev wipe you. So I'm not exactly sure what the actual reasoning was. So I can't even begin to argue whether or not it was justifiable or 100% bullshit.
Bro, that's some bullshit right there. Listen, I can fuck you up. Wow.
It's probably in the middle. But yeah. So that was like the same. That was the day it happened. Basically, we all found out, and then I turned my stream on and ran around naked with the. You can't see it in that clip, I don't think, but my.
Oh, you're talking about on the game? Okay. All right. Like, goddamn, I missed that show.
No.
Did your stream go dark?
But, got that new office over there, so you just get a little frisky. I see how you are.
No. So we got dev wiped, and actually they banned every player. So 200 accounts were banned, globally banned. Now that only means that you're banned for conquest because it's going back to the bullshit between Snail and Wildcard, which Wildcard was the original dev, Snail bought them, blah 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 blah. So the devs, if you get dev wiped or banned or in trouble on conquest, Wildcard doesn't care because they already know the situation with T and whatever. Or at least that's the assumption, that they already know that's so they keep it separate. So I could get banned over there on every account and still go back and play on all the regular servers all the time on my account.
Crazy.
But I had just created a character on another account called Not Globally Banned, and that was me running around naked on Not Globally Banned.
Nice. Well, that's hilarious, dude. That's some of the most entertaining stuff is when I kick on your stream and because I'm not into Ark. Like I would be honest with you, the game, watching it and stuff's not really what I'm into. But I come in there solely just for like the shit talking I hear between you and all the different people, and whether
no
it be
doubt.
the people on your side or the people you're fighting or whatever, man. So
it's a good time. I'm gonna get you guys
really
into it because it is not very fun to watch if you have no idea what you're watching.
I've watched your shit. Like I've never played the game in my life, but I watch yours because it is entertaining to watch. And even though I can't keep up with the game, it's cool. Like I like your content. There's a lot of people that I will watch that I don't know their game. I don't play their game, but I will watch them because they're very entertaining and I like their content. You're one of them. So I don't give a shit if I don't play your game. It doesn't matter.
So then in the next couple of months, when you have some time and you're bored, you've already run everybody off the RP server in DayZ and you're now the kingpin, then we'll take a few days and I'll teach you guys Ark so that you can at least watch it with a little bit more of an understanding of what it's like to play on any level of it. And that'll be fun.
Yeah, and then we do that, then you get to come play a day of DayZ with me.
Dude, I never promised. I used to promise this all the time. Somebody asked me to play something, I'd be like, for sure, dude, I'd love to. And that's true. That's not to say I wouldn't love to.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know how it goes, bro. Sometimes
Yep.
you know.
No, I get it. Trust me.
So
Trust me.
last night there was a fight this whole weekend basically. Our team versus another team, and it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until it's over. This one only lasted a couple of days, but so yesterday was like a rebuild, restock kind of thing. I went home this morning from my office at like 9 or 10 in the morning. Like it's just the I'm too old for this shit, but it's that same thing, bro. It's that feeling like I just can't quit it. I can't put it down, bro.
That's your drug, man.
It is.
So do you stream from your office? Is your office not in your home, or where's your office?
Well, so when we moved back to South Carolina, the house that we bought doesn't have internet access.
Yeah.
It's like
I
it's
talked
literally
to you
like
about
a
all
black
this.
hole, and so we got Starlink there just for personal use. You know, that's good enough to watch Netflix or play on your phone or whatever, but it's not good enough to stream for sure. So I started looking for an office that I could afford and that was close to my house because I don't want to drive 20 minutes every day to and from an office like that. Stupid. And this is a super awesome story. I'll try to make it super short because I know you guys are about to wrap up. But I had reached out.
I'll be here all night. What's up?
I'd reached out to a friend of my parents that I'd known like 6 months before he moved. And I just said, hey, I'm looking for a place maybe. I'm pretty sure the internet's going to suck. Let me know if you find anything. Right. Sure, I'll let you know. Didn't really think about it. Moved over here, started looking around, and I find this place that's like a mile from the house. It's small enough that it's not too much space. It's perfect. You know, there's internet right to it. It's everything I was looking for. And I look it up online, and it's that guy. He had just bought it. Literally had just bought it.
Nice.
And I hit him up, and he was like, "Dude, I'd love to get it for you." And he was nice enough to work me a good deal. And
awesome, man.
And so it's like
I love the setup, man. The background, and everything. I saw you got it all fixed up. What trinkets you got hanging back there? Like on the wall behind you there. Is that arc stuff or what is that?
The two pictures on this side. Me and my wife went to one of those paint night things.
Yeah.
You ever been to that or seen that? They have like
I've seen it. Never done it.
Well, it was pretty fun. It was. I've been watching quite a bit of. What's old boy's name? The painter guy. With the fro.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Bob Ross. I'm like, dude, I'll go to that.
Happy little tree. Happy little tree.
Yeah,
right
we'll
over here.
Some happy trees.
Stoner if I ever heard one.
And then on the other side, this side, my wife, because we met on World of Warcraft like way back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Like 20 years ago.
I played the shit out of that game when it first came out.
So those are the original 4. You can see the 2, and then the other 2 are right off the screen. Those are the original 4 like action figures from World of Warcraft from way back when.
Nice, dude.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. That's cool,
and
man.
Then right up,
I don't care what Bosch says about you. That's awesome.
And then right over there in the corner, somebody made us that like little Hillbilly Willy thing. It's like
is that like stitched or something?
Yeah, it's kind of like a stitch
talking
type
about.
Thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
awesome,
a bunch
man.
Of stuff
I love it, man.
Some art,
nice
plushies and stuff up there. Just different.
I was
stuff.
impressed. I remember like when you first got it all set up and came back and all that, and I was impressed with it. You got it all hooked up pretty good, man. So you guys put a lot of work into it.
I put none in. That's my wife and kids.
There you go. Hell yeah.
I sat at my desk going, "That looks great, honey. Thank you."
Fuck yeah. Well, they did a hell of a job.
Yeah,
so.
they are the greatest.
Bro, well, thank you so much for coming on here. Like I said,
it was my pleasure, dude.
I'm freaked out because like I don't know you. Like, there's a lot of these streamers that Bosch has years of relationship. That you guys don't know me, and I don't know you. It's really cool to meet you, like, and to pick your brain and to hear you talk for a couple hours. Man, I appreciate it a lot. Really,
dude, I appreciate you inviting me. I would go all night. I'll come back anytime. I love shooting the shit with people I enjoy and get along with, and obviously like you said. I haven't known you that long, but I've known Bosch a long time, and he and I shoot shit just fine. And so yeah, I appreciate it. It was a pleasure.
Guys, if you don't follow Hillbilly Willy, be sure to check him out. We'll have a link below. Like and follow. Until next time, Hillbilly Willy, thank you so much. You know I love you, brother.
Love you too, buddy.
I consider you part of my family, man. I will see you on stream. Much love.
Yes, sir.
And,
send me that hat.
You need one. Send me a DM me the address. I'll send you one, brother. For real.
Done.
Oh, yeah.
Much love, guys. 2 Fried Eggs podcast.
For tuning in. Please subscribe below if you like our content. New episodes dropping every Friday. Stay